vanity item slot that is tied to global events. Now, there's one, being confusion as to how the whole thing works. And two, people have different feelings about how it should work and
absolutely.
And this sort of thing. So we kind of wanted to go through that today and unpack it a bit and just chat about it and give it a bit of clarity.
Because we talked a bit about it, and like yesterday when I was streaming and probably when you were streaming as well, a lot of people were having questions about how it works, and we were not entirely clear on how it actually works. We were just equally as confused as some of you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So now I've been doing a bit of homework and I have like a clearer explanation on how it actually works.
Yeah.
So we can give that explanation.
Exactly. Peter, could you do me a favor and just turn up the master volume on the big right slider? Yeah, just a little bit.
Not too quiet, apparently.
Not too far. All right, cool. We should just start young. That's fine. So for the people that don't know, masks are rewarded and they're tied to the leaderboards, which you find in the new area of the terminal. There's a little bit of information down there, but the information that you kind of can get from the leaderboard is a little bit minimal, so it's kind of confusing. The leaderboards are based on the overall best hour of gameplay. I think that's where I myself had a bit of confusion over that, because it reads as global event tokens per hour. Yeah. And then a value.
Yeah, and there's been some people that thought that this meant the average per hour that you do. So overall, the complete, like the total gameplay time that you did. That's not how it works. It's just basically like counting, the amount of global event token you got in the last 60 minutes all the time, and it's just like taking the peak where you reach the highest, and this is your ranking in the leaderboards. I know that I've seen some people reporting issues where their like total actually goes down, and it shouldn't. So that is not how it should work. So there apparently seems to be an issue with that, and we'll have to look into that. But that's not how it should work. So it's not like it's reset every day or something. It's like your total should never go down, or your ranking should never go down.
Yeah, I saw someone in chat saying, my score goes down. Yes, that is a known issue.
Yeah, and that's not how it should be. It should be like always taking the highest you've reached for the entire duration of the global event. So if you reached, 7,000 at your highest, it doesn't matter if you didn't reach 7,000 in the following days, your highest was 7,000, this is the score you will have for the leaderboard.
Yes, exactly. What else do we have here? So it's a tier-based system, so for a bit more clarity.
Yeah.
There are 3 tiers.
Yeah.
And the tier 1, so tier 1 is, average. Tier 2, exceptional, and tier 3 is insane, right?
You can name them like that.
I'm just trying, because, tier 1 is not the top tier.
No.
Let's just be clear.
No, that's also one of the confusions is the way it's been named. So tier 1 is the lowest reward tier, then tier 2 and tier 3 is the highest one.
Okay. So tier 1, the top 50% of players will end up
in at least tier 1.
At least tier 1.
Yeah, you have to be in the top 50% to qualify for a reward, basically. Yes. And tier 1 basically makes it so that you will get 1 mask as a reward.
So then tier 2 is the top 15%, so you'll get another mask plus the tier 1 mask, and the tier 3, which is the top 5% of players, will get all 3 masks.
So it's, just to be clear, that means that if you're between 50 to 16%, you will be in tier 1, from 15 to 6% you will be in tier 2, and 5 and above you will be in tier 3.
Yes, exactly.
So and that means all the bottom 50 do not get a reward.
Yes.
Or do not get a mask.
Don't get a vanity reward. Yes. Does a solo player have a chance? Well, this is one of the things. I totally understand where solo players will be coming from, because, to be fair, this system is better for groups, because you can run stuff faster. So
with the group modifier, you get. Like if you take the highest one, it makes it way easier to do content. So definitely when you have a group, and especially like a good coordinated group, you can definitely reach higher tokens per hour ratio, that's for sure. So now the thing is, there's 2 things to mention here, because obviously there's been a lot of discussion, there is still a lot of discussion, and I read TX6 Cowboy putting in caps, terrible system. There's been a lot of feedback on that. So one thing that I wanted to mention is the reason why we went with per hour and not total.
Per single hour.
Yeah.
Not average per hour.
Yeah, not average per hour. And also not why we didn't go with the total amount of tokens that you grinded is especially because we didn't want to make it just a playtime thing. We didn't want to make it so that we reward the people that spend the most time in the global event, which would have been going with the option of leaderboards per total tokens accumulated. So we didn't want to go with that. And we didn't want to go with average per hour on the total playtime, because that would also mean that we would actually punish you for playing longer if you don't perform always at the top. Yeah. So that's why we went with the best hour of gameplay. We thought that was the best way to give a chance for people that wouldn't necessarily have, like dozens of hours to put in the global event. If you just have 10 hours or whatever you can put in the global event, you still have a chance to get to reach a pretty high performance per hour. Now, one thing that is definitely very much up for discussion, and we've seen a lot of people that say that we should tie it to commendations, and that's very good feedback. That's a very good point, and I can't tell you why it wasn't done before, but we're definitely looking at improving the system, and commendations is definitely something that we are considering, and there's a discussion going on right now about if we should do it and how we can do it. But this is definitely something that we want to look at for improvements of the system, because we see that it's very much debated, and we kind of agree that just tying it to leaderboards is actually very limiting. So we are looking at making improvements, like kind of both short term and long term. So we're trying to see what we can do for this global event to try to make sure that people don't feel left out, because obviously the proposed solution is not satisfying. So we're trying to see if there is anything we can do for this global event, and also like a more healthier solution for the future ones.
Yeah, I see a lot of people asking, have we seen Marco's video and that sort of thing. Of course, great video. There's one of the other questions I had was, people are concerned that people are at the top of the leaderboards for hacking, to be blunt. It's easy for us to check those accounts for suspicious activity, and like with anything, if you are caught cheating, you will be permabanned.
So I mean that's the thing, at least with the leaderboard system, is just that it's easy for us to see who are the good performers, and it's easy for us then to look at how they are actually achieving these scores and see if this was in a legit way or not. I know that there's debate over cheese or not cheese. There are definitely optimized ways to get tokens, and that's one of the downside of going with tokens per hour, or like highest tokens per hour, because in a way that's kind of encouraging people in finding the most optimized ways to gain tokens. So that's definitely how these guys are achieving these kind of scores. But of course, then we can look at if that was actually legit gameplay and just good optimized gameplay, or if there were some cheats involved.
What else have we got? Classified drops. That's one of the things that people have been asking about. After the global event ends on Tuesday, how do people get their hands on classifieds? Where? How much?
So the idea is that you will be able to keep getting classified after the global event ended. And we've said that already. The 3 classified gear sets that exist in a global event right now, you will be able to drop them in the world once the event ended. The idea is to, in terms of rarity, we're looking at something like the exotics. So we want it to become much more rare once the global event ended. So they will be dropped in caches the same way that the exotics do. So like the field proficiency caches and all the activity caches, so last stand, survival, underground, you will have a chance, similar to the chance to get an exotic, you will have a chance to get a classified at the same rate. And then we're also adding them to the open world and dark zone named NPCs. With a chance.
Captain's had a really good question. Can you get classified drops in the supply drops, like the season pass supply drops?
No, not right now.
No. Okay. Wednesday, the next state of the game on Thursday. Sound good?
All
right. Don't forget Survival Free Weekend, and also global event ends on Tuesday. All right. That's all. Unless you want to sing that song. Probably not.
I'm not gonna sing.
All right. See you later.
You guys don't want that. See you guys.
Bye.